If you want your engine to avoid an early death, you need to change the oil regularly. Therefore, if you pay someone to change the oil, make sure they do a proper job. Normally when you pay to get your oil changed, the mechanic is going to unscrew a plug at the bottom of your engine and all the oil will fall into one of these pans. There is another method, and that's to use one of these machines. These machines work by putting this tube in the dipstick tube, pumping this up and down, and all the oil gets sucked out of the engine. But the question is, does this machine suck all the oil out of the engine, or is there still some oil left at the bottom? So I'm going to use this machine to suck as much oil out as I can, and then I'm going to undo the plug at the bottom of the engine to see if there's any oil left. Before changing your oil, make sure the engine is nice and hot and unscrew the oil filler cap to help you extract the oil without causing any vacuum. Then simply feed the appropriate size tube in as far as it will go. Pump the oil extractor or switch it on if it's electric. The oil will now flow into the container. When the tube starts to make slurping noises, like that, try to move the tube around and continue to pump. If the extractor continues to make slurping noises even when you're repositioning the tube, then the process is complete. You can also see that there's no longer oil in the pipe. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the oil comes up to here. This is 2 litres and this is 4 litres, therefore this is less than 3 litres. This car is supposed to take closer to 4 litres, so therefore it can't have got all the oil. So now it's time to unscrew the oil drain plug at the bottom of the engine. Time to see how much oil is left. Well, there's your answer. This is how much oil was left in the pan after draining it. Time to measure the oil. Click on the pop-out banner to guess how much oil you think is in the pan. As you can see, there's still over 1 litre left in the sump after the oil extractor, not to mention the residue. Don't know if you can see that there's quite a lot of residue in this oil pan still, which probably means about 1¼ litres left in the engine after the oil extractor was used. There are other videos that have had more success with extracting the oil from the engine than this video, but they've never extracted all of the oil, and the oil at the bottom of the engine is generally the worst stuff. It all comes down to where your dipstick tube is located on your engine. Therefore, if you don't do a test akin to this video, you're not going to know how much oil an oil extractor can get out of your engine. Therefore, I can't recommend using one of these oil extractors to change your oil. If you want to get your oil changed, make sure whoever changes the oil undoes the plug at the bottom of the engine as intended by the engine designer. I know you can't get rid of all of the oil because there's going to be residue in the engine, but undoing the plug and letting the oil drain out is going to get more oil than using an oil extractor. That's all for this one. Like if you like it and subscribe to get my future videos.